What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan from AnnihilatorMTG here, and I'm back again with some more Modern. This week, we're going to be playing Blue-Red Kiki combo, or otherwise known as Twinless Twin. I've wanted to play this list for two main reasons. First and foremost, it's a blue deck that for whatever reason chooses to opt out of including Force of Negation. Admittedly, I don't really understand this line of thinking, but seeing as I don't own any copies, this is very appealing to me. Secondly, the atypical mana base is very interesting. To my understanding, the idea behind a mana base like this is to make Boil less painful, and this actually enables us to play it ourselves in the sideboard, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, Izzet control decks with a combo finish have been something I've liked for a very long time, so this should be an interesting experience. I don't really have much else to say about the list, as this is extremely experimental, but either way, let's not waste any time, see what we can do, and hop into the first match. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. And it looks like they went down to 6 cards, and this hand is certainly keepable, so this should be fun. I think what we're gonna do is go with the red side of the flip land, because I don't expect to need to play a Spell Snare on turn 1. That would be crazy. Either way, should be fun. I will admit that their username concerns me. They might be playing Tron, in which case that's just not great. They go Spire of Industry into an Ornithopter, so this is some kind of affinity variant, I assume. It will be interesting to see if this is that mono-white affinity, like Pure Steel Paladin deck, that I don't really understand all that much, but it's an interesting deck either way. I think we're going to just bolt the Ornithopter. All right, we draw, we hit a island, that's fine. Let's go Cascade Bluffs. So this will be very good if we go like Lightning Bolt on turn 1, Spell Snare on turn 2, Charm on turn 3. Like, that's just awesome. Our opponent goes Glimmer Void, and then a Ravager. Nice. All right, let's Spell Snare. That feels good, tell you that much. And they lose the Glimmer Void too. Man, that is wild. All right, let's go Island. And then we have a Chandra for turn 4. This is absolutely tremendous. I feel bad for our opponent. Okay. Well, it's not over yet, so let's see what they have. Well, I guess they're just passing, so it might be over. That's interesting. All right, so let's draw some cards with this Charm. An Opt and a Spirebluff. Okay, sure. And a Kiki-Jiki, how about that? All right, so let's go Filter for red, then Chandra. Gonna be real hard to beat us from here, I think. We uptick, lose a Temple, they lose 2 life, good stuff. All right, they go Darksteel Citadel, that's a good one. Kythian? Whoa, what? Wow, I gotta admit, I didn't expect that. Okay, either way, they pass. That's good for us. There's a Deceiver. So, with the mana that we have, we've got upwards of 6 mana, goes down to 3, 4. Okay, yeah, if this was an untapped land, we'd have a chance, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. So, let's just go Spirebluff, and then I think I want to go Chandra minus on the Kythian, just get that guaranteed kill. Because Kythian's really annoying, actually. You know, if this thing goes unchecked, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I just want to, like, iron that out while we can. Okay, so we're in a really good spot here. We basically win next turn, and I don't know what our opponent can even do that actually, you know, scares us in any real way. Tempered Steel. Huh. Well, okay. That's a really cool card, and it might be really cool in, like, Commander, actually, but I don't know if it really works here. Either way, let's go Deceiver. Let's untap this one, then Opt, Snapcaster Mag, we'll put that on the bottom. Another Opt, one more time, Fumerole, put that on the bottom, and there's a Valakut, sure. All right, we untap, very nice indeed. Let's get some mana from Chandra. Then we do that. All right, we jam the Kiki-Jiki. Let's start making copies, and our opponent scoops it up. Thank you very much, opponent. I legitimately don't know what we want to take out here, if much of anything at all. I think maybe the Angers are good, but the question is what do we take out? Maybe the Cryptics. Maybe the Cryptics are just too slow. That's fine. Wildfire seems interesting, but we might explore that in game 3. For now, we're just going to try this. All right, this hand is pretty spectacular. We have an early game play in the Serum Visions. We can also just hold up for Bolt, and we have a Remand as well. With the lands to support it, I don't have any complaints here. They go Glimmer Void, interesting. Springleaf Drum, sure. Second Ornithopter, okay. Well, I think legitimately we should just hold up Bolt, because I don't know what they're going to do, and being able to somewhat protect ourselves might be the key to our survival if they have some kind of ridiculous turn 2 play. All right, they go Glimmer Void again. Then they go Ravager, sure. Annoying, but manageable. All right, let's bolt that. Okay, they boost up 1 Ornithopter, which we can also just bolt if we wanted to, but I really don't see the need at the given time anyways. So we can just hold up a Remand here. Then we have Deceiver, we have another Lightning Bolt, Serum Visions in the wings. Yeah, I don't really see what our opponent does at this point that really scares us. Ink Moth is bad, sure. I guess we can just Remand that, just to cycle it. We're not really talking about doing anything for true effectiveness here. They swing in with an Ornithopter. Kiki-Jiki, wow, okay, well, that's good. Let's go Bluffs. All right, opponent, what have you got for me? All right, they animate the Ink Moth. They equip the plating to the Ornithopter. Okay, sure. And they swing in like that. So I don't see how they just win from here. So I'm just going to bolt the Ink Moth. All right, that's taken care of. That slightly weakens the Ornithopter because of the artifact rule. Okay, we're at 14. They go Kythian once again. Sure. So, Snapcaster Mage, that's a good one. Let's go Serum Visions, just to set up for the winning turn, because we do need another land, and there it is. Let's put both of these on the bottom. So at this point, all we really need to do is survive, right? What have we here? Vault Scourge, sure. So, we should probably just do one of these. Tap this. Of course, they can just attach at instant speed, or just, since we're actually just in the main phase, they can attach however they want, but that's not really what I'm concerned about. It's just preventing the third attacker so the Kythian trigger doesn't happen. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. They want to swing in for, 5 in the air, be my guest. And here they go. 5 in the air, no problem. Well, we certainly lucked out in this one, I think, because our opponent could have definitely gotten underneath us. That's a huge thing that can happen, especially with Affinity. I love Affinity. It's a great deck. Well, maybe not as good as it used to be, but still. Let's go Kiki-Jiki, and that should be that. An opponent scoops it up. Nice. GG's, opponent. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend, and let's take a look at this hand. This could be really good or really bad depending on what we draw, so I think I'm going to keep just because it's the first game. Be a little bit more aggressive. They go down to 6 cards, and then they go Woodland Cemetery. Interesting. Okay. Alright, we draw. Temple. We'll scry. Island. That's pretty good. We'll put that on top. Our opponent draws. Main phase. They go Field of Ruin. Okay, sure. And then a Tri-Belder. Interesting. Not really what I expected there, but that's all right. Let's go Island. We'll pass. They sack the Steve, getting a Forest, and a nice-looking one at that. Cool. They go Mountain. Interesting. Some kind of weird Jund. Very weird Jund, actually. They crack the Field. Okay. Sure. Don't really know if that's what they want to be doing, but all right. Can live with that. Let's go Opt. Sure, we could put that on top. That's fine. We'll let them do their thing. They go to main phase 2, and they suspend a search for tomorrow. What kind of deck is this? All right, let's opt. Abrade. We'll put that on the bottom. Get a Shivan Reef. Sure, that's fine. And a Lightning Bolt. All right, let's play the Reef, and we can pass. Pretty confident with that. Opponent downticks the search for tomorrow, which, again, I really don't understand. This is a very strange deck. Maybe it's just like budget Jund. Gingerbread Cabin. Okay, that's cool. I like it. What do we want to do? Let's do the Valakut Awakening. Let's go Bolt, Pathway, Snapcaster Mage, and that's fine. Let's try that. Any order is fine. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. It's very good, in fact. So, Spirebluff, that's nice. And we'll be on our way. Now, unfortunately, this is a tap land since it's no longer the first 3 lands or 2 or fewer. So us going Deceiver into Kiki-Jiki requires that we draw another mana source other than this. So their search resolves. They get a land. The Cavern. What in God's name is happening here? I would not expect a Cavern of Souls in this deck. All right, naming Giant. Cool. They go Summoner's Pact. So that's fine. They get a Prime Time. They cast the Prime Time. They go Field and Valakut. Sure. They get 2 zombies. Well, let's see what we can do here. Let's go Deceiver. Let's tap the Prime Time. All right, we draw for turn. Let's see what we get. Serum Visions? That's not quite it, unfortunately. So let's just jam it. All right, so. Let's go bottom, top. Let's play the Spirebluff. Then I guess we just hold up a Remand, I suppose. Luckily, I don't see a Dryad. We can always Remand it, and that should be fine. So really all we're worried about is the zombies, which we're not worried about, to be frank. All right, they play a Mountain. They get another zombie. They swing in with a team. They get a Valakut and something else. I think it was just another Mountain. Sure, more zombies. No problem. All right, let's go Valakut, Awakening. Let's get rid of the Chandra, the Snapcaster Mage, the Snapcaster Mage. Any order is fine. Nice. Okay. All right, we draw. Second Remand. That's a good one. Let's go Cascade Bluffs. Then filter some mana. Do one of those. And this. Let's go Kiki-Jiki. Copy the Exarch. Untap the Kiki-Jiki. Yield. And we're going to repeat this until our opponent concedes. There we go. Thank you, opponent. Good manners. I like that. So, Aether Gusts are probably in. Those seem nice, for sure. Cleansing Wildfire is interesting. Boil is an interesting idea. If they end up having like a Dryad, we could just boil them in their toast. Like that's certainly interesting. It's just a matter of if it's effective. I think we're going to get rid of the Sinkhole and the Abrade. That seems fine. They might have amulets, but quite honestly, it didn't look like they were playing the full-on, like, normal build, so maybe they're going some kind of riff on, like, a more abstract budget variant. I'm unsure about that. So I think what we're going to do is just say, ship it back and see how it goes. And if we need to be a little bit more aggressive with the sideboarding, we'll do that. Well, this hand is pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. We'll keep. They go Forest. A Boreal Grazer, sure. And they put a Valakut into play. It's no problem. All right, so... Spell Snare, that's a good one. Let's go Shivan Reef, then. We'll hold up the Snare, and if that doesn't work, or if that isn't relevant, then we'll just play the Opt. Bolting the Grazer is entirely irrelevant. There's really no reason to do that at all. All right, opponent goes Mountain. 3 mana. Prismatic Omen. All right. Well, we'll Spell Snare. Weird to run that over a Dryad. I don't even know if this is really all that cheap. I remember it being somewhat costly in paper, but obviously the prices aren't the same. So our opponent passes straight through. There's an Aether Gust. That's pretty good. Let's go Valakut, tapped, the Stoneforge, or whatever it's called, and we'll pass. So we're doing okay here. We actually can play the Charm next turn, if need be. And there's a Cavern of Souls. You don't want to see that. Another Prismatic Omen. Interesting. Let's go Opt. We'll put that on top. I'm fine with more lands. All right, we untap and draw. Interesting. Let's go Cascade Bluffs. We kind of need to if we want to play the Charm. All right, we'll pass. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand, soon to be 3, but that's really not that great in terms of card quantity. They need to be really good cards in order to pay off. They suspend a search for tomorrow. That's fine, I guess. All right, looks like they're passing. So let's go filter, and then we'll draw 2. There's a Deceiver and an Opt. That's very good. Very good indeed. Spirebluff. Well, let's play that, get that out of the way, and we can always just hold up Opt and Bolt with an Aether Gust in the wings if need be. So that's good. All right, they downtick their search. They go Castle. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Looks like our opponent's passing through here, so let's go Opt. Snapcaster Mage. Think we're fine on those. We get a Remand. Happy about that. So, what do we want to do here? I think we'll just pass through. We draw. There's a Valakut. Nice. Let's go blue land. Yeah, we're definitely in a good spot here, for sure. We can go Deceiver during the end step and then Valakut. Or we could just hold up Remand, then go Deceiver, or hold up Aether Gust, then go Deceiver. We've got plenty of options here. Looks like their search is finally resolving. They get a Valakut trigger. Okay. All right, let's Aether Gust. Don't think our opponent knows how this works. Or maybe they didn't know that we had an Aether Gust. I think, yeah, that's correct. For whatever reason, I always think that our opponent just knows. Been playing against too much Thoughtseize lately. So, let's do End Step Deceiver. Very nice. All right, let's do Untap the Spirebluff. We untap, we draw, another Remand. Well, we can always just go Snap Aether Gust again. That's fine. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's go Snap. Get the Aether Gust. We'll play it. All right, we'll pass through. We draw. Temple. Jeez. We'll play it. Scry. See what's on top. Chandra. That's fine, I guess. The main problem, though, is, of course, that we've got to do something about the fact that they're just going to jam a Titan and presumably deal, what, 18 damage? I mean, that's not good. So, what do we do? I think we just have to force the Valakut Awakening and hope that we hit something. In that case, we probably should have put the Chandra on the bottom, right? Yeah, didn't really think that one through, unfortunately, but we'll spin the wheel. Cryptic? That kind of sucks. We'll concede. Try again. So, boils are definitely going to be in. 100%. Boils are great. What is bad? Spell Snare is probably not great. Probably not good at all. So, we'll ship it back. We'll play first. Okay, well, one lander, don't want to keep that. Although it is a scry land and we have ops, so I'm going to keep it, which is probably foolish, but that's what makes it fun. Go to the main phase, we'll scry. Remand, normally would keep that, but not today. Not now, at least. We'll hard pass through our opponent's turn. They go Woodland Cemetery tapped once again. All right, we draw. Wow, really? MTGO bug. Let's go opt. Lightning Bolt, no thanks. Good, 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 good. All right. So we live to see another day. I was worried there for a minute, have to admit. See what our opponent does. Search for tomorrow, and then Simic Growth Chamber. Sure. Let's go opt. Snap on the bottom. Another island. Beautiful. It's making this boil a bit worse, though. I must confess. Let's go with a Pathway, holding up the Charm. We also have Snap Opt. Okay. See what our opponent does this turn. Field of Ruin. Sure. Steve. Steve is fine. Let's draw two. Another Charm and another Snap. That's fine. We draw for turn. A Deceiver. Deceiver's pretty good. All right, let's play an island. We have Remand plus an Aether Gust. We can just Remand to their Search for Tomorrow, which is just brutal. Of course, they can always just hard cast it. Either way, they get a forest, sure. A part of me just wants to save the counter spells for the actual threats, though. I feel like they're going to be redundant enough with their ramp that we don't really need to cover any of that. All right, so they're going to resolve a Search. Probably going to get a Mountain, I assume, just for color variety. Indeed. Interesting that we haven't seen any basic islands of any sort. So our opponent's tapping away. Obstinate Baloth. Huh. Alright. Not quite what I expected. We'll Remand. We get another Pathway, that's fine. We draw. Cryptic, that's good. Let's play the red side. Put the Cryptic over here. Alright. I'm just waiting for our opponent to jam a Prismatic Omen so we can get him with a boil. That'll be hilarious. Either way, they untap. Let's see what they're doing. If they just jam another Baloth or whatever. Play a land. Let's see what they got. Another attempt at the Baloth. That's interesting. So let's go counter draw. We get a Mountain. That's good. Pan costs. Oh, Destiny Spinner? Interesting. Jeez, should have played that first, I think. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. We untap and draw. There's an opt. Opt is good. All right, we'll pass. No reason to really worry ourselves with any of this right now. They draw. They're paying costs. Let's see what they got. Prime time. I'm sure they're familiar with this one. Aether Gust. Very nice. Okay, that's pretty great, actually. They swing in. All right, let's opt. Put the opt on the bottom. We draw Chandra. That's fine. Let's just jam a Deceiver. Feel like that could be fruitful. Let's tap Cemetery. Draw for turn. Island. A little bit less exciting, but that's okay. We can just go Snap Aether Gust. Kind of buy some time here. And then what, like end step Charm? Draw two? Yeah, that sounds great, actually. All right, play the Snap. We'll get the Aether Gust. We'll play it. Second verse, same as the first. Okay, beautiful. Don't think they're going to be attacking now, which is great. They go Summoner's Pact. Okay, sure. That's a bit odd. That shuffles away. Oh, I can't believe it. I cannot believe they're doing this. This is hilarious. Not only did they shuffle away their Titan, but they just made our Boil live. Man. Okay, I'm in. Let's draw two. Christmas is coming early, guys. All right, Cascade Bluffs, that's nice. Spirebluff, that's fine. So, let's do one of these. And we just go Boil, right? Just give it a whirl. This is hilarious. Okay, I love Armageddon. Let's go Chandra. We'll get rid of this because it's a little bit more annoying to me. And all right. And we pretty much won because our opponent couldn't pay the Summoner's Pact. GG's. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. And we'll go first. Okay, yeah, we can probably keep this. I don't see why not. Need maybe one more blue land. Well, not maybe. We definitely need one more blue land, but outside of that, let's go Spirebluff first, and we'll pass. All right, see what our opponent's playing here. Bloodstained Mire, gross. And an Overgrown Tomb. Here comes the Thoughtseize. Indeed. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. All right, they take the Charm. It's a good choice, certainly. They pass. We draw. Island. Nice. We'll play it. So our opponent shouldn't know that we drew that island because they saw that we already had one. So no new information to our opponent. Of course, they could just Thoughtseize us again, or Inquisition, or something similar. So that's entirely relevant. We'll just have to cross that bridge when we get to it. They go Blood Crypt. Okay. Wrenn and 6, perhaps? Tarmogoyf. Okay. Sure. That's fine. Might be a little bit sketchy, but that's okay. It also looks like they might be playing some kind of Death Shadow variant, although they are just kind of doing the Jund thing. They're just hurting themselves a lot. All right, let's see here. We could go Valakut, that's fine. I think setting up with the Serum Visions might be a little bit more important, though. For now, there's a Remand, that's quite good. Lightning Bolt, let's put that at the bottom and the Remand on top. I don't mind remanding into a Remand. In fact, that sounds like the best thing ever, personally. So we'll pass. Hopefully our opponent just like tries to jam a Lily or something. They go Street Wraith. That's unfortunate. And then not much else. I guess I just wanted to make their Tarmogoyf bigger. Sure, that's fine. Well, what have you got for me, opponent? Give me something good. They go Forest. Okay. Death Shadow. Kind of unfortunate, but that's all right. It's a 3/3. And another Death Shadow. Well, let's remand this one. Cool. This is actually not terrible. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's try abrading the Death Shadow. Dismember. Okay. Well, that's deeply tragic, although it does put them into double lightning bolt range. We just, of course, need a red source for that. It's kind of important. All right. So they swing in for 7. Of course, we take it. Death Shadow. Let's remand it. We get a Snapcaster Mage. Now all we need is a red source. An untapped red source. Let's be clear here. All right. We can also just go like Cryptic tap draw during like their upkeep or something. That's certainly valid. We could also steal one. All right. I guess we'll just try that. All right. Tap draw. We get another charm. Interesting. We'll hard pass in the meantime. They go 3rd Death Shadow. That's a good one. Okay. Let's play the red side. Let's go Bolt. Snapcaster Mage. All right, nice. So we kind of just slipped by that one. I don't think anyone necessarily deserves or doesn't deserve to win, but that definitely felt pretty darn close to us not really deserving that one. But, you know, semantics schmantics. Let's cut the Abrade. What else? I think like maybe a Bolt, I guess, and then bring in the Aether Gusts. Sure. Let's go with that. But yeah, that Bolt Snap Bolt kind of fell into our laps. But honestly, when playing against Death Shadow, that's kind of one of the most fun ways to play because they're trying to min-max the best they can, and we're seeing like, hey, can we sneak in there? That kind of thing. So it's kind of cool, actually. This hand is certainly good, if a bit slow. I'm not a huge fan of that in that regard, but lands and spells against Thoughtseize is good enough. No point in mulliganing to the perfect hand if they're just going to take our best card and make it a terrible hand. And on that note, they go down to 5. Beautiful. So they play a peat land. Very cool. We draw, hit a Valakut. That's nice. Or a Valakut Awakening. I'm going to make that mistake every single time. We'll yield to the Scry. Sure, we can put that on top. That's fine. It's at least untapped. That's nice. All right, they play a Forest and then a Tarmogoyf. Cool. An 0/1 Tarmogoyf. All right, let's play this as a blue land, sure. We'll hold up the Remand, because if they jam some kind of like Liliana or something, that would be one quick way for them to get ahead from their, you know, mulligan. That was pretty darn aggressive. They're going to swing in for 0, and then they'll crack the land and all that stuff. All right, so now it's a 1/2. They get a Blood Crypt tapped, no problem, which is interesting, especially if they're playing Death Shadows. Did we scare them into it? And a Grim Flayer, whoa, I haven't seen that in a long time. I loved playing with Grim Flayer in mid-range builds. It was so fun back in the day. All right, that is pretty cool to see. We get a Snapcaster Mage. That's pretty darn good. Do we set up with a Serum Visions, or do we just go Aether Gust on the Flayer? Oh, boy. It's a tough one, isn't it? I think we're just going to go Visions, set up properly. Oh, geez, a Spell Snare? Wow, okay. Well, that's fine. Let's go top and then top, and we'll just pass. Being able to snare the Flayer is going to be very good. It will make the Tarmogoyf bigger, which is fine, but, you know, it is what it is. They swing in. They get us down to 16. I feel like they should have played a creature first, but that's fine. All right, Spell Snare. Goyf's up to a 4/5. They play a fetch. We play an island, and now basically we have full control over this game for the most part. We probably should have played this. I'm an idiot, but that's fine. Yeah, actually that was just a mistake, wasn't it? Yeah, I was playing it too much like a control deck. If I went like that, then we would have had enough mana to go Deceiver straight into Kiki-Jiki instead of the nonsense that we're doing now. They swing in for 4, not the end of the world. They've got 3 cards in hand, and they do nothing. So, we'll cast you. And I think we're going to dump Snapcaster Mage, actually. Hit OK. Any order. Cool. Okay, that's fine. That is certainly fine. We're a bit slow, but we'll make it work. So let's play an island here. Come to think of it, we wouldn't have even been able to play the Kiki-Jiki, actually, because we didn't have enough red mana. So it's actually indirectly not terrible. Okay, cool. That's good. That's good. So our opponent cracks the peatland. It's a good choice. Almost would think they should have cracked this first, but that's fine. They seem to be very, very held back with how much they're hurting themselves, which is weird because they're a Death Shadow deck, so I'm like, I don't really understand that. I wonder if they have some kind of transformative sideboard where they bring in a different creature set if they feel that the opponent is too aggressive and they can get underneath the Death Shadow build, which seems like a little bit of a waste, but whatever. I ain't judging. They go Thoughtseize. All right, let's do this. Let's go Deceiver. Let's untap this, and we'll counter the Thoughtseize. Hopefully they don't have a Veil. That would be turbo bad. Okay, they go Overgrown Tomb untapped. Oh boy, is this a Lily? Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a Lily. Oh, a Choke? Huh, interesting. Sure. Yeah, that's okay. It's really not that bad. Let's go red side. All right, yeah, this is fine. It's completely fine. It's interesting that they bring in a Choke. I guess a lot of people aren't aware that this version of Twinless Twin, as it's called, it seems, they don't really understand the whole low island build and how it makes it very effective with Boil, but it also makes Choke way less effective than you'd think it would be. So that's definitely an interesting little tidbit there. They swing in for 4. Sure. All right, for max value, let's draw. Redundant Kiki-Jiki, interesting. That's fine. Let's go Cascade Bluffs, and I guess we just jam, right? Just see how it goes. If they have a removal spell, good. If they don't, good. And they do. Okay. Well, is what it is. We'll scoop it up, see if we can do a little bit better. So, do we want to make any changes here? I don't really think so. I think we're fine for the most part. Yeah, let's run it back. Being on the play might help. All right, we'll play first. Well, this is certainly an interesting hand. I think we can get away with keeping this. And once again, we want to avoid Thoughtseize as much as possible, so the best way to do that is keeping hands, if they're moderately good, and not getting too picky. Our opponent mulliganed once again. Very interesting. Let's go Spirebluff into a Serum Visions. Spell Snare, that'll be very good. Another Deceiver and a Sinkhole. I think we can go Sinkhole on the bottom, Deceiver on top, and if they Thoughtseize us, they'll likely hit a Deceiver, I can imagine. They might also just take the Charm. They go Overgrown Tomb untapped, as expected. There's a Thoughtseize. All right. They might also just take the Spell Snare, you know what I mean? Protect their Tarmogoyf or Grimflayer, or even a Bob if they're playing it, and that's what they decide to do. Okay. So they get a free 2-drop, unfortunately. Let's go Temple. Valakut. Sure, we'll put it on top. Opponent goes Bloodstained Mire. They crack it immediately. They get a Blood Crypt and a Tarmogoyf. All right, and a Mishra's Bauble. Very interesting. Bauble trigger. We draw the Valakut. Let's go Cascade Bluffs. And now we basically have dealer's choice. We can do a lot of different things here. An absolute ton. All right, our opponent plays a Peatland. That's fine. They move to attackers. They swing in with a Goyf. Let's go Charm. We draw Chandra and an Island. And a Spirebluff Canal. All right, well, let's go Fumerole. It's probably best. And then we can just go Valakut during the end step. We can ship a couple of things. I don't even really know if the Chandra is all that good right now. On an empty board, it's fabulous, but with what they're dealing with now, we kind of need answers and tempo, and Chandra is not that right now anyways. So they crack their Peatland, which means I can only assume they have more lands in hand. They go with a second Bauble, crack it immediately, targeting themselves, which means they likely have a fetch, and they do. All right, they move to attackers. They swing in with Egoif once more. We're still not too afraid of them killing us quickly. I mean, 4 damage a turn is nothing to just shrug off, but it's very steady at the moment. Let's go Valakut. I think we'll just do this. Ship it all except for 1 Deceiver. All right. Holy smokes. Wow. Well, that's interesting. They draw off the Bauble. Jeez, what a hand. Not so sure what to make of this, but that's fine. Can't really do much with a Lightning Bolt right now. They immediately move to attackers. All right. We'll let it through. They crack a Verdant Catacombs, getting an Overgrown Tomb. Sure. They go Death Shadow. All right. We can steal that. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's take the Shadow. Okay, that's wild. That is such a wild interaction. Can't we literally just go, like, bolt ourselves, go down to 5, swing in for 8, and then just, like, snap bolt? What, are they gonna dismember? Are you serious? No way. All right, let's bolt ourselves. This is wild right now. No way. They better have a push. That ain't gonna cut it, friend. Okay, double dismember. All right, we draw for turn. Beautiful. Okay, let's do one of these. Snapcaster Mage. Archmage's Charm is ridiculous, man, especially in this matchup. GG's, that was crazy. And there you have it. Twinless Twin is quite the deck. I definitely feel like this is the type of build that really rewards a high rep count. I don't think that I did terribly per se, but there's a significant amount of room to grow in terms of piloting the deck optimally. Either way, this deck is totally sweet and I highly recommend playing it if given the chance. One thing that I might tweak is the mana base itself. I know a lot of people are running Reflecting Pool, and it might just be objectively correct to add a few of those in instead of some of the other lands that I've chosen in their place. That, and I'm not entirely sure that the lack of Force of Negations in the builds that I've seen online are intentional or strictly due to budget constraints. In some areas, it felt like they weren't necessarily needed, but if given the opportunity to use them, that would just feel a little bit better. I'm gonna run this at some point in the future again, so look forward to that. I just need to figure out a more tuned version of the build. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching and sticking around till the end of the video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You guys know the drill. Stay safe out there and have a good one.